I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is November 14th, Thursday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. As we discussed, we most likely will come down a little lower so we can get into this imbalance here for all the push out traders and imbalance of price. Yesterday I was mentioning it would probably just come down, and sure enough, Asia brought it down, and then a little bit right at London pushed it right back up. All right, and got to the opening gap here, and then kind of sold off eventually from there. But we came up to take out a little piece of liquidity there, right there, this high of yesterday's 4 p.m. candle on the 1 hour, and then we just started doing lower lows and lower highs the whole way rest of the day. So take a look here. You'll see a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to make this simple, but you can see here on the 15-minute, we pop up with this candle at 4 p.m. 4 a.m. We sweep that swing high, and it's over with. Now you got equal highs here, and you have this liquidity built. And the general gist is that they want to come down and balance more of that price. Which is what's more important to them at this point. Because, I mean, in general speaking, when you look at we made this video on the 5th. Today's the, 14th? So we were understanding that popping up and then retracing back. Obviously, this is, don't worry about where the level is. Just understand the action. So how are they printing it? They're printing it with, at first when you get to a top high like that, you're getting the speaker here, right? And this is a very good experience as well, but speaker here, and then you get the lower lows and lower highs. But because you got CPI on this day, and then I forgot to totally mention yesterday that I forgot fucking Powell was talking today at 3 p.m. So you weren't gonna get it as clean as you would like. The delivery. So instead of just coming straight down and then going up, I mean, they're holding the market in a funny price action because of Powell talking. So I completely forgot to mention that yesterday, dude. But and that would make if I knew that, I would have mentioned things a little bit different. But in the general gist, I'm only looking for 2 good trades today, type of thing. And as you see here, we get the built liquidity, right? And then 9:30 comes, right? So 9:30 right here, we pop up with the fake swing first, with the fake move first. We push up, and I have to zoom in, and there's so much to talk about. But if you take a look at that gap right there, there's a little gap in between 8:29 and 8:30. So this whole time I was analyzing, I'm like, dude, this is going to be an issue right here. I wasn't so concerned about them sweeping above, only because I understand that in the general gist of this leg that we got right here, notice that this high takes out that high, and then we had the built liquidity with the equal lows here, right? So if we're coming down here, so looking at it like lower low, lower high. So I'm looking at this area like a lower high, and then lower low, lower high, right? So in this case, this price action here that we made, these were lower highs. So if you look on the 15-minute, it's telling you lower low, lower high. So this is just one leg that we're looking at here, right? Lower low, lower high, and then when we came down here, it's lower low and then lower high and then lower low. Look on the 15-minute, lower low, lower high. And then this is all one leg. So this is a low and a lower high internal. And then we just bust through. Now we're still coming down to finish sweeping this. Well, I have this highlighted on the 4-hour imbalance. I could switch it to a daily, but in general speaking, this is what they're doing. They're trying to seal that. And how do they do it? Well, just stay on the 15-minute real quick. You'll see that we first came down to that 15-minute imbalance that I was talking about some days ago. Right there, this 9:30 on Thursday. This that just go look at that. You'll see that. So we tapped in. This is how I get the trade from selling and taking the buy quick. Again, for the guy who talking shit, I don't take the trades. I'm just gonna do this for our last time. But just so you could feel better about yourself watching this videos. I don't know. I guess that makes people feel better. But as you can see the gap here, right? So I understand that, right? I understand that when I took this sell, I understood that it was problematic. Why? Well, we tapped in, but at the same speaking, this gap at 930. So sure enough, it's okay. Took a loss there. Price shoots up here, right? And then we get a push down. We get a overbought here, but then we get a nice divergence here. See that? So right here you get a higher high when it swings up, right? So this is again another loss, right? Price pushes up, staying in that imbalance, but then boom, just wicks right above, right? Right above, and then comes down. I'm in the trade. Why? Because I got the bodies respecting here on the opening day gap in the background. You see that? That's today's opening gap. See on the 15-minute right here, right? So very key level for this. And then the opening range, they pretty much sealed all of it, but nice divergence right there. And again, they're keeping these lower highs intact, which is just, it is what it is. And there's nothing else I can mention it. But if you were afraid to take the sell here, then you got your first opening imbalance right here, which is the green right here. And right when you seen that come underneath, and I got to drag that on purpose. Like when I'm in the trade, I'm expecting it to come below it and literally be resistance, and you can see it beautifully there. So and you got the 50 level here that it's just pretty much underneath that. So beautiful. So this is your entry right here. If you didn't take this entry here, so that's your entry right there. What's your next entry from here? Well, we push down again, right? And then we have this imbalance that we were holding at first. Now I want to see this inverse, don't we? So then this candle pushes up, right? Tags the bottom 25%. Just look at the details. When you're watching price, just fucking pay attention, right? Like that's what you have to do. Because they're telling you. It's just and then you see the body sitting at the open right there. I mean, as soon as this like popped up, and then like, I mean, if you push it there, fine. But if it's coming back down on its open, I mean, that's an entry right there too, right? And then look what happens here. Then the 930 level right there, we pop right back in. There's a gap in between the 29 and the 30. So you can see that's gonna hold this price. Look at the details. Look at the details. So that's another entry. All right. And then what do? We push, we break through, right? We push right back up into this bearish imbalance right here. We tag it there, we tag it there, we tag it there, right? And then I'm using this to see the majority of the bodies hold, which they're doing that all right here. See that? Boom, we rush right to the target. Beautiful. Now, I mean, oversold here. This was the setup for today, right here. This was it. Now, what I end up doing is taking a buy up back to here. Why do I take this buy here? Even though I understand that there's much more in here, this is just showing a refined moment. I'm only trading the beginning of the day anyway. I'm not trying to sit here all day. But the point is why do I have this buy right here? Why do I take this buy? Well, number one, we take out liquidity, first of all. The two previous day lows. We get into that refined 15-minute imbalance. You can't see it here, but it's there, right? Again, that's the 930 from Thursday AM, right? But we have oversold here, which is nice. And for the simple fucking reason of breakout traders right here. It's like if they didn't know what was going on here, well, they got it in right here. So for me, this is a minimum target right here. Obviously, this liquidity. But this right here, forget all this. I don't know what's going to happen, right? Because I understand that we can be coming much lower. But I'm not willing to be a part of this the rest of this day. So what do I get? Target right here. As soon as it tags in, I try to get the fuck out quick. Ends up. Well, I'll show the trade. But anyways, so when the price pushed down here, and then we pushed up right here. See that? On a 30-second, you could see a candle tapping the 15-minute imbalance. It goes above and it taps it, but you can't see it on this 1 minute. So that was to be honest, that was the start of when I wanted to enter. But then it pushed up, and then we once we closed, we're at 50% here, all right, and then we come below it, right, and then you see this wick here, this little wick right here. See this little wick? See that wick? See how the bodies are at 50% right there? Now, the price action is moving fast. That's what I love trading about the beginning part of the day. But and you can see that we're respecting, not respecting, but we're, I'm using these lows right here. I'm using it to kind of like bounce off of it. But in general speaking, it's just to wipe out sellers. There's no, this is a lower low, this is a lower high, right? Do I know what's going to keep going here? No, I don't know. Do I know it's going to keep coming down from here? No, I don't. But I know this is selling from to down here, and I know this is buying up here. Why? Because they're greedy and they're shaking out, and it's just as simple as that, right? I know this much. This is a sell, buy. There's two good trades. What is the next trade going to be? Is it going to be so sell, buy, sell, which that's what happened? Or is it going to be a sell and then a buy, push up, and then a sell? So this is a dump. This is my pump. This is all I'm looking for. You see that? So, and again, I wanted to hold it till I did want to hold it to this level, obviously, because that's a breakout level too. But I need to be conservative, and I don't want them to pull the rug underneath me. And to be honest, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of talking about the market, to be honest with you. Need a break. But again, this is the logic of why I'm doing this trade right here. So what do we get? Well, the 50% of this last down candle, as you see. So it's kind of like right where my entry is, in a sort of speak. But the price action is here, right? And that's it. It's just really the logic of what I was doing, because here we pop above that high. See this last candle? We pop above it, and then we come right back. So that's a change in the state of delivery, meaning that a buy program can kick in. So this is a retracement back into the 50% of the candle, and you don't really want to see it go too lower, but you expect it to hold. So once it took off here, stop loss is right there. And I gotta let it breathe a little bit, and then anyways, we push up. We get this bearish inversion right here. So it pushes up, retraces back into it, holds, and take off. Right now, it's gonna get a little bit messy here because again, for the people for the skeptics, that's all I'm doing it for, bro. Because it's really annoying. As you see now that we did seal it, right? We did seal the 4 hour. Let me change this to a daily real quick, just so we can, well, shit, before I do that, might be a very nice buy right here, to be honest with you. No wicks down there? Damn, that sucks. That sucks to buy that. But, anyways, so take a look here. Fuck, I don't know where to begin. So we discussed all this, right? Popping up to here. So as you see, we came up to the 930 open. That's not a random level, right? And beautifully hit that, came back down here. Comes back down and tags into this inversion here that we discussed, right? Which is this 1018 that pushed me up here. So we came back down, and now we're like, okay, we're bouncing around. Where are we? Are we gonna bounce from here to go up? What did they do? Well, in the structure, this was lower low, lower high. We didn't know what's going to happen, but then we end up making a lower low. So what they do is they popped up. Just look how they wiped them out one more time. And I made this. I said this in the video yesterday. I said if they don't see the midnight level that's in the background, this orange level that's right here. See how it's above the 930 level? See right there? And see how we didn't tag it right there? So yesterday I was like, I don't like to see that. I like to see them tag it if they're here and then run away. So they didn't tag it here, and then they ended up coming back one more time. But forget the midnight level for a second. I'm just giving you extra game. The point is that they're trying to wipe out this high right here before coming back down. So it's just a way to make the lower high. So let me just draw this real quick. This is kind of hard to do, man. There's really a lot to talk about. Just be patient here with this, the way this looks. I'm trying to fit it all in here. I'm pretty sure you can see that, right? So lower high, lower low. So they do this two drive shit. It's still a lower high though, right? It's in the grand scheme of things. Look at the way they did this. So they brought it down right here. And then they made a low, and then they made another low. And if you thought that was a shift to go up, well, you're forgetting the higher time frame logic, which is what? Which is sealing the imbalance. So this is just the low, the lower low. Forget that one. This and this. Forget all that bullshit. This is just the lower low. And then that's the lower high. All right. And this is internal. So then they just came and, well, now we're pretty much like this. 1, 2, 3, pretty much. And does it, I mean, you don't really necessarily count this like that, right? Like, I mean, you can, but in general speaking, if this is just one leg, let me see if I could do this right. And that could then, continuing the structure for lower high here, probably get into this. See this I'm all over the place, but see this 3 o'clock candle, that no wick on there, and look at this gap up here. Look at this gap right here. See that gap right there? There's literally no price action. So in my opinion, it's like, okay, let's now come up, right? Now, again, yesterday when I'm telling you guys about, I wanted to see a buy there. When I was trying to buy this, I'm not telling you that I'm buying it to hold forever or for like a long term to break this high. That was my second trade of the day to be like in an intraday trade. We still have an understanding that we want to come down here. You get what I'm saying? So again, back to this video on the 5th, like pushing up here and retracing back. That's the logic we want to come much deeper than what we are doing now. Like in the grand scheme of things, I look at this as a wedge down, right? We had this price action actually similar to this here, when we had this fuckery, if you guys remember that, and then we poked down. Well, we obviously became much lower, but there was another example, I thought. Kind of hard to say. Yeah, but anyways, trying to keep this simple. But so here's the thing. So here, when we hit this high here, we come back, we push up. All right, and then I'm using this this bearish imbalance on a 5-minute. We're still like being controlled by it, which I'll end it with the 5-minute chart. Making this video, that was probably really nice right there. Hey, of course, you're gonna do it at the end of the day, but as you see here, we're not busting above. Right, we bust above it, but we're always breaking below it. So you can see where I'm gauging this as we come down, we come back up. Look how we come right to it here. Okay, see how we sell from right there as a lower high. And then if you look at this bearish imbalance, this 1018 is dragged out. When does it work? Well, when you see, take a look here. Well, we can't even break above here. All right, we can't even break above here, right? So you can see that nicely. And all this shit here, I'm not even gonna go there, man. There's just too much to. There's really just too much to talk about. But it's like you had to be there type of thing. But anyway, so when we're coming down, here's another piece of game. So when we're coming down here, using this 4-hour imbalance, we initially here, we were hitting the top 25% with these days here. With Tuesday and Wednesday, we were hitting the top 25%, right? You can see this, right? Let me just drag it out a little bit. Fuck, this is how I make videos long. Try to hurry up here. Well, that's not what I was trying to highlight, dude. What the fuck? Come on. Let's go. So, of course I got it on that. Anyways, man. So you see we hit the top 25% here. All right, for the previous 2 days. So then what are they doing? They're inching their way down here. All right, so they're inching their way down, and then they come to the 50%. Look at this right here. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. 50. The 50% level of the 4-hour, the big one in the background, we hit it 1, 2, 3 times. These are all beautiful buys right here, right? Oversold conditions right there. Beautiful, right? But again, once now, as you're witnessing this, what then happens? Well, we fail to get above the... Let me just drag it out all the way. All right, we're failing to get above it. So we're inside it now, right? And we're at 50%. What's the next level that you expect to hit? The 75%. All right, you see that? So then we come here. All right, now we're hitting the 75%. We're coming back above. Now this 15, remember this 15-minute imbalance? This is super fire. See that? Remember that 15 imbalance? Well, we're underneath it now. So what would you expect it to turn into? Into an inversion. So resistance, right? You see that right there? And we're at the 50%. So we're, yes, they're outside the lines, but in general, if you look at the, like for example, look at the 15-minute. Look at the 15-minute bodies right there. See how it's closed? They're literally right underneath the 50%. But on the 1 minute, it looks like chaos, right? But you can see a respect on the 15-minute here. We're adding that, and then what do? We came lower. We came lower to bust through that. So that's that. This is the 4-hour example. I'll do it on a 5-minute as well, because I'm going to show you the 5-minute was really telling you the story if you didn't know. So as you look here, we're in this. I'm going to just do this on the 5-minute. As you see here, imbalance right here. Look, price is staying in there. Consistently staying in there, right? And then you'll see it. You'll also see it hold here. I'm not gonna go there. Let me close the door. I made this video too long. And then let me see here. 21 minutes. So then, as you see here, let me just drag it all the way out. I mean, as you can see, we are struggling. And that 5-minute, is powerful. It's in control, like the 15-minute. But the 5-minute is very clean on the details with this. So and the same story here. I mean, even if I just move this here, you'll see with the same story that we're staying in this price action right here. And right there. So we're popping in there. We're also stuck in this. Well, did they take that out? Yeah, they wicked it very slightly. But we were in there. You could use, obviously, these last up candles here. I could do the top one, but I'm going to just do this. So you can see that, and we're tagging underneath it. And then so on. So, yeah. Now, daily, let me switch this to the daily real quick. 1 second. So that's the mixture. I'm like, you can combine two together as far as imbalances go to see, but sometimes I need the smaller time frames, right? And then I switched this to the daily here. And as you can see, we're also hitting the daily. Where is it? Let me move this for a second. Okay, now we're clean. Hitting the daily, 50% as well. All right. Let me drag this out. We're gonna do this live so we know, so we can say we did it and we know what's going on, what it looks like. Okay. All right. So in general, 50%. Pretty much poking in. What's the best entry? It's above the 50%, right? Which would be in a premium area. It's a premium bearish imbalance, right? To sell into, right? To come down. But same story here. You can see us pretty much respecting the top of that daily imbalance right there. See that? That's also another clue. Switching it, so it's like I try not to keep it all in the chart, but I mean, you want to go and you want to see what's going on back and forth with it, right? But then on the 4-hour, we hit that 25% on the bottom, but then on the daily, then we hit the 25%. Look at the bodies right there. Look how this body right here stops perfectly, opens. All right, but anyways, and then so I'm assuming that they want to come and seal this. Now sometimes they don't, right? And this might be the buy. I don't know. I don't care either. But the general gist is we're rolling back to just wipe that out, and we're doing that. So we've done that, which is great. Now this is a 1 hour, but as you see these down candles, do these get respected, or do they try to come underneath here, which is like this pocket right here? Do they try to come in there for the breakout traders and wipe them out right here? See that? So that's going to be really the question, like how low do we go, right? So we have that. We have this here. That's for our breakout traders. Remember, we had that empty space there. But then these down candles really hold the support. Like right now, we tagged this. Obviously, this is just a 1 minute, but you see that? So not a coincidence, right? So, and I understand that. I know that. That's why I'm saying, is this going to be the good? Is this going to be the buy here? But just trickling down here, and again, this little pocket here is this right here. This is going to be the question, and we got some gaps here. So I mean, it would be nice. That's what I was saying. It'd be nice to just come back. If you watched maybe 2, 3, 4 days ago video, I was talking about doing this when we were coming down. So, you know, lower low, lower high, lower low. I was remember, you remember me doing this? No, I actually stretched it down here and then went up like this. Remember that? So this is what I was talking about. All right. So you're seeing it play out. But again, we had CPI on this day here. We had Powell here, you know, so like a lot of this fuckery here is just part of the game, but the general logic is still flowing, right? So, yeah. And then in the fourth, so I was saying also, last thing I'll say is which is very key, the 15-year data and the historical data. I was saying that we were supposed to come back down like this in this structure. We were supposed to come back down until in the first 20 days, we're coming back down. Like, for example, what I'm trying to say is, right now, today's the 14th. So we were coming down until about the 18th, 19th. So I separate the month in 3 sections. First 10 days, then 10 to the 20th, and then 20th to the 30th. So now you understand that. I break it down into 3 sections. In the last 20 days, in the last from the 10th to the 20th, those last days of the 10th to the 20th, which would be the 18th, okay, the 17th, 18th, 19th, okay, is what I'm trying to say, even the 20th, that I wanted to then be down here, okay, and then, so just kind of make this fucking simple, like something like this. Where are we? Jesus. Something like this, right? And then we shoot up for the rest of the quarter, so that means that the last 10 days, that would be the November 20th to the 30th. And then from there, we see what we do in December. But this is the program right here. This is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense to you guys? All right. So when I did this, that's what I was talking about. I was going up and coming back down. And maybe I didn't mention it clearly about when I would like to see this turn around. But I would like to see that happen around the 20th, 18, 19, 20, you know, some shit like that, right? So, anyways, oh my God, I know I talk too much. So, and then I wanted to mention this, when we were, NASDAQ was making these lower highs here, right? And then when we got here, we were already in flow with lower highs, right? But, what's it called? NASDAQ came and took out that 830 high because there was a gap there for us, right? So we had that flowing, this flowing, and then we had, and then when we came up here at the 930, 935, we had a higher high, which is how I took the sell, and then we had lower highs here. You see that? Lower highs there, and lower highs here, right? See that? Lower highs? So that I have it drawn right there. Then we pushed down, and then it was lower, lower, lower high since. But where could you have saw that writing on the wall? You saw we had a higher high with with NAS here, and a higher high with S&P, and we had lower highs with Dow. Dow was telling you like the whole game here. Then when we got to this here, we had lower highs with Dow, and we had higher highs with S&P and NAS. Another beautiful sell there. And so on. This ended up obviously failing. We had lower lows here, and we had higher lows. So this was a great buy, but again, you had to have took the profit again because the higher time frame wants to take out that imbalance. So this obviously failed. But that's just giving you the gist there. Dollar, where'd I go here? And then dollar screamed up again and almost took out this high right here. Remember, I mentioned this coming up here. So that's bringing us down more. This is what I'm trying to say. And then you can see Dow, we obviously came down again a little bit lower. I was mentioning getting into this pocket right here. We're almost there. We got equal lows right there, right? And then again, breakout traders, very simple. This pocket of price here, this little, we're trying to get into there and seal that. That's what the agenda is for now. We came underneath the 50 level on the 4 hour, which is expected. Not such a big response of going up. So that's what we're doing here. And then same thing with NASDAQ. S&P. Same thing. No fucking difference. So again, with another lower low, we expect lower pricing. And then from here, we'll have trouble, right? So then we're looking for a sweep back up, right? What was I going to say? Yeah, well, this is not a fun place to be either. So, because you don't know really where it's going to stop, right? I would just love for it to come down here. I would just love for it to come down here and then take off. But it might happen from around here. We'll see. We don't know. So I think I've said enough. What else? Oh, Nvidia, and also just kind of just penning out. Nice pennant. Is it going to shake up or is it going to shake down like I was talking about here? So we're kind of like in this pocket of price. See how it's the same shit right there. Like we don't know, right? You see that? See how it's pennant? See that? Do I have to fucking draw it? Now I'm getting irritated. I want to go. See this? All right. I'm not trying to teach retail patterns and shit, but it's just a logic. All right. So you see that? You see that? I would just like for them to pop down here, and then they could do whatever the fuck they want. Tap back, go back up. All right. I know I'm missing something, man. I'm always fucking missing something. So again, I'm expecting the prices to still be coming down until about the 19th, around that time, and then flip up. So we're the 14th. All right, you guys take care and God bless.